Do I need a podcast trailer? What are some best practices when putting together a podcast trailer? What should I include in my podcast trailer? In this video, I'll answer all these questions and help you build a sexy podcast trailer. Hello and welcome to the Pod Sound School, where we help podcasters to make something big out of their podcast. We've helped dozens of clients and hundreds of students to get the results they wanted from their podcast, and I want to do the same for you. So, having a podcast trailer in place before launching your podcast is a very strategic move for many reasons. But the most important reason is that it allows you to start building your audience and create hype around your launch even before launching your episodes. This one single piece of content can make a huge difference in your launch strategy and steady audience growth after launching. But before we move on, I invite you to take a moment and subscribe to our channel. We post videos every week about podcast production, content strategy, social media promotion, and more. So hit the bell button to get notified every time we release a video. Okay, are you guys ready? Let's make a trailer. First, let's talk about the importance of having a trailer. Trailers are big selling points for movies and TV shows. They are so important that there are multiple studies of brain activity occurring during movie trailers, providing insights to film and TV producers on how to make the perfect movie trailer. The success of a movie trailer dictates whether or not the movie will thrive or tank. How memorable a movie trailer is has a direct correlation with how much money that movie will end up making. Have you ever lost interest in a movie after watching the trailer because either the movie trailer is too long, it doesn't give enough information to help you decide on whether you should watch the movie or not, or it gives way too many details that you don't think it's necessary to watch the whole movie anymore? Like a movie or TV show trailer, a podcast trailer is an essential element of your podcast planning and promotional strategy. Having a trailer has numerous benefits, like getting your potential listeners excited and curious about your show. You can use your trailer as part of your social media promotion, and having a trailer can help you gain subscribers even before launching your podcast. Submitting your trailer before launching your podcast will ensure you're approved in the different podcast directories before your launch date. Some of the podcast players take a few days and sometimes weeks to approve a podcast. It's always a good practice to submit your trailer for approval a few weeks before your official launch. This simple strategy will allow you to have your podcast approved on time while building hype around your show. Strategically, having a trailer can get you more listeners. Why? Apple Podcasts and Spotify showcase podcast trailers at the top of your feed. And lately, Spotify started suggesting podcast trailers on their homepage from indie podcasters to listeners. People browsing for new podcasts may be more willing to listen to a 2-minute trailer than a 30-minute episode. In those 2 minutes, you'll convince them to listen to more of your episodes and to subscribe to your podcast. And lastly, a podcast trailer will give you an advantage over hundreds of thousands of podcasts that do not have a trailer. Who knows why? If a listener, another podcast, or media outlet wants to share or promote your podcast, they can use your 2-minute trailer. Your trailer is already perfectly curated to show off the best parts of your podcast and what to expect, so you will always be ready for promotional opportunities. Now let's go over some best practices when you are creating your podcast trailer. First, length. You want your trailer to be no longer than a few minutes. Your audience will lose interest if the trailer is too long. Remember that this is your chance to get them curious and interested so they subscribe to your show. You don't want potential listeners to feel like they already know everything there is to know about your podcast before even listening to an episode. Pay attention to style, tone, and what you promise. Your trailer should exactly match the tone of your podcast. If your podcast is upbeat and playful, use that tone in your trailer. If you play music in your episodes, add music to your trailer. Remember that your podcast tone is directed by your content, your ideal listeners' expectations, and the experience you wish to create for your listeners. We like to add sound effects and music to the trailers we create, and if you want to do the same, we have this video that teaches you how to add effects effects and music to your recordings. Also, since you must deliver on the promises you make on your trailer, make sure that you don't create false expectations about your podcast. Another thing you should consider is to use a script. I advise my clients to script their trailers so they feel confident and under control. If you're reading a script, make sure that you don't sound like you're reading. Add some color to your voice with intonations, pauses, and breaths. If you're not using a script, I encourage you to use an outline so you don't get off track. In our program, Smart and Sexy Podcast Launch, we teach you the step-by-step on how to create, record, edit, add music, and submit your podcast trailer to the different podcast directories, along with all the strategies and skills you need to learn to have a killer launch. If you're interested in learning more about the program and see us in action teaching you about podcasting, sign up for the free training on how to grow your audience before launching your podcast. The link to sign up is in the description below. Now you may be wondering what you should include in your podcast trailer. With your podcast trailer, you want to mainly do three things. You want to introduce yourself as the host of the podcast. You want to tell them what your podcast is about. And three, you want to encourage a ton of engagement. They can go in different order, and you can even write it and deliver it in a storytelling format to capture your listeners' attention. But basically, what you want to do in your trailer is to introduce yourself as the host of the podcast. You want to tell your audience what your podcast is about and talk about the format. Will there be solo episodes? Interview format episodes? You also want to describe your ideal listener and talk directly to their wants and needs. Hopefully, you've done market research and talked directly to your ideal listener so you know and understand how your podcast will be helping them. Don't be afraid to be very specific. An example of this would be, this podcast is for you if you want to take control of your finances and get out of debt right after graduating from college. You could also establish your authority by sharing your credentials and skills. And very important, don't forget to share your why. Your why is the main reason you decided to start a podcast. It's your motivation, your mission. Whatever it is, it's important for you to share it. And finally, upload your trailer to your web host and distribute it to the different podcast players. Once you have recorded and edited your trailer, you can upload it to your web host and submit it to the podcast directories for approval. And one last thing. Use your trailer as part of your promotional strategy. Send it to subscribers on your email list, make audiograms and share it on your social media, embed it on your website, share it in online communities. You get it. Share your trailer everywhere. Okay, Podskis, I hope you guys feel ready and confident to start putting together your trailer. And if you want to listen to some examples for inspiration, I added links to podcast trailers we've created in the description below. Also, don't forget to snag your seat for the free training. I hope to see you there. And before you go, two things. No olviden hacer la tarea, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Happy casting, amigos!